It is a really, really tough situation for passengers to be in, particularly if they've flown from the island and they are now trying to figure out how to get home. Yes, they should be able to reclaim the cost of their ticket, but unfortunately, they've then got to find an alternative flight. And of course, going forward, the loss of connectivity for the islands is absolutely critical. I'm just trying to claim back my fare on a booking I had with Eastern Airways, which of course went bust just a couple of weeks ago. Anybody who's got a forward booking with Blue Islands is simply going to have to go to their bank. It should be quite straightforward as long as you book direct. And particularly if you've used a credit card, it will simply be refunded. If you used a debit card, then you're going to find that you quite possibly will need to ask for them to do you a favor and return the money. There will be thousands of people who have advanced bookings on Blue Islands, of course, and they are now going to have to do a couple of things. First of all, try and retrieve the money, which is going to be hopefully a simple procedure for anybody who's paid with a credit card. And indeed, debit cards should be okay. The banks should refund without too much fuss. If you book through an agent, it could be trickier. And then there's the problem of, okay, well, I've still got to travel. What do I do about a alternative flight? And yes, prices will be going up by the second as people get to hear about the collapse and are trying to protect their trips in future. It's absolutely critical to get these routes back and working with another airline as soon as possible. Logan Air, based in Glasgow, may well be entering the fray. They have some aircraft, but of course, looking ahead to Christmas, New Year, everything is working at full stretch. From an economic point of view, the absolute best outcome would be for someone like EasyJet to step in and say, yeah, actually, we think there's huge potential here. And of course, EasyJet being a very professional, very safe, very profitable airline would be a really good option. As Oscar Wilde nearly said, to lose one regional airline in an autumn is unfortunate. To lose two looks like carelessness. And certainly the government in London, I think, is going to have to answer some questions about why vital connectivity, not just to and from the Channel Islands, but also, for instance, the route from London to Newquay is jeopardized by another regional airline collapse. Sure, it would be terrific to have an airline with the power, with the profitability of EasyJet just to come in and replace those flights. But it is going to reverberate well beyond the Channel Islands. And I think the Civil Aviation Authority in London is going to have to answer some questions about whether it's doing enough to ensure the financial health of airlines. We've seen Flybe go bust twice in 2020 and then a couple of years later. We've seen Eastern Airways go, BMI Regional, a great long list of regional carriers. And it is deeply concerning that regional airlines seem to be a very British problem. We've had Flybe going bust a couple of times, BMI Regional, Eastern Airways just a couple of weeks ago, and now Blue Islands. There really needs to be a resilient solution that means that the Channel Islands can have a good, robust connection with Great Britain and beyond.